take care. And I'm also was involved. I took straight contact with him, how he was, so the circumstances, so how he felt. I think that's most important. How are his emotions, and then look what you can offer the player, how you can support him as a club, as a manager, and then once he returns, you have the conversation with him. So again, about feelings and how to move on, how to get back, so how to deal with the situation and how we can support him.
Erik ten Hag there on Andre Onana. We'll come to Onana, I think, a little bit later on, Paul. But just a brief word on Heckingbottom. You know, he survived the 8-0. We've seen in the past, but when, say, for example, when Ralph Hasenhüttl had the 9 games at Southampton, he actually came back and won immediately after. I wonder whether there'd have been a little bit more sort of good grace towards him from some of the supporters that are beginning to call for his head, had it not been sort of so soft since then, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about the West Ham game, didn't you?
Yeah.
What are you giving us, or has he just not got the squad?
I just don't. I think at the moment we talk about injuries and maybe the squad, and I think people are starting to understand that. I don't think it's good. It's good for the Premier League if the 3 sides who come up go straight back down. It might be what everyone wants. They want the same teams all the time, but I think that's wrong. It's not what we're about. We're on about teams earning a right. We're about lifting people when they come into the top division, the opportunity to play against the big boys and the opportunity to compete against them, not with the big boys getting further and further away than the smaller boys. So I think it'd be an embarrassment if the 3 sides who come up go back down. I don't think it's any good for the league. Can't go around saying you're the best in the world when at the end of the day all you're doing is just paying, you're virtually allowing everyone else to run away from the division below.
Well, look, Luton have managed to pull themselves out of the relegation zone for the time being, so you never know. Perhaps it is them who are going to put a threat on the Premier League. Look, we're going to have a little bit more build-up as well shortly, and of course there will be silences once more for what's been going on in the Middle East, and indeed for Sir Bobby Charlton today. And Sheffield United against Manchester United is on.
Entertaining hosts bring the energy every day. Plus, hear from high-profile guests and newsmakers as they break down the biggest happenings from past and present. They're covering it so you don't miss a moment. All the action is happening on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82. Stream every UEFA Champions League match live, exclusively on Paramount Plus. Try for free at ParamountPlus.com/livesports.
Raising the Champions League trophy on Paramount Plus means becoming champion of champions. And the battle for Europe is wide open with new Italian threads for Captain America. Soccer superheroes striking at will. Mbappe! Arsenal and United back in the dance. And everyone gunning. What a goal! For the boys in blue. Unbelievable! All streaming live on the home of the UEFA Champions League. Try it free at ParamountPlus.com/sports.
We dish sports 24/7 on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Listen to Shine on Sports as Adam Shine delivers animated, opinionated, and insightful sports talk with insider interviews, special guests, and much more. Plus, if you want to make sure you're in the know, join Adam and the team every Wednesday as they dish out the top news and headlines from around the entire sports world. It's Shine on Sports. Weekdays starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, only on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Channel 82, brought to you by Dish. Tuned in to you.
Hi, it's Joan, your local Dish tech. And I know these days it's hard to find a provider you can trust. That's why Dish gives you a reliable signal, now covered by a money-back reliability guarantee. That means there's no risk trying Dish. If your signal goes out, we'll make it right. Our team even conducts 24/7 signal monitoring to make sure you get the strongest signal possible. To learn more, dial 1-844-CALL-DISH, visit dish.com, or find a local retailer near you. Guarantee covers signal loss outages due to normal weather or technical issues. Contact Dish customer service within 72 hours to verify outage and receive credit.
Rediscover the majestic musical world of Queen with the return of the Queen Channel.
How amazing to have our own channel. It's a dream, really.
As Queen's debut album turns 50, hear the stories behind their songs and see Queen and Adam Lambert on the Rhapsody Tour. A limited engagement. The Queen Channel, now on Channel 104 and on the Sirius XM app, included in all trials and popular plans. Just search Queen.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Sheffield United against Manchester United from Bramall Lane. I'm your host, Toby Gillis. Alongside me, the former Manchester United and England defender, Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. And the two sets of players are out on the pitch, clapping hands as we speak. Andre Onana and Wes Foderingham, two goalkeepers who have conceded more goals than they'd have liked this season, but whose performances, well, certainly in regards to Onana, there's been plenty to question so far. We will, of course, be observing a period of silence before this game kicks off as well. That is as a mark of respect for all those affected by the ongoing crisis in Israel and Gaza, as well as this particular match round being dedicated to No Room for Racism too. But also we have seen Bruno Fernandes coming out today with a wreath, and I was able to read on our monitor just a part of the message that Manchester United have placed on it, which just said in loving memory of Sir Bobby, that after the Manchester United and England legend Sir Bobby Charlton died earlier on today at the age of 86. So plenty to get our teeth into during this game, but the silence is on its way. Let's remind you of the teams. Sheffield United have made two changes to the team that were beaten by Fulham last time out. Chris Basham and Anel Ahmedhodzic are injured, and that means that they've gone to four at the back as well. It's either going to be a forward diamond two, or maybe James McAtee, one of those two players to have come in alongside Jack Robinson, could potentially be put out on the right-hand side. So they have Wes Foderingham in goal. The back four, Jayden Bogle, Austin Trusty, Jack Robinson and Luke Thomas. Then the midfield three will be Gustavo Hammer, Vinicius Souza, the defensive holder of those three, and Oliver Norwood with James McAtee in the 10. And then Ollie McBurney and Cameron Archer, the strike pairing. Manchester United also two changes from victory over Brentford. Scott McTominay is rewarded for those two late goals in the place of Casemiro, who's injured. Mason Mount drops to the bench and Anthony comes in. So Andre Onana is their goalkeeper. Diogo Dalot, Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire against his former club, and Victor Lindelof, the back four. Sofian Amrabat and Scott McTominay, the midfield pairing, with Anthony, Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford in behind Rasmus Højlund, who is looking finally to open his Premier League account for Manchester United. But the two sets of players are now surrounding the centre circle in front of Manchester United's players. Is that wreath for Sir Bobby Charlton today, but also, as mentioned, to commemorate the situation, the ongoing conflict between Israel and in Gaza as well. And indeed, a reminder that this is also a weekend where we ensure that the message gets across that there is no room for racism. But Sir Bobby Charlton's picture is on the scoreboard, high above this crowd, and as you can hear, warm applause for a genuine legend in these parts right the way across the country, as he of course helped England to win the World Cup, their only World Cup win thus far, back in 1966. So the period of reflection over Sir Bobby Charlton will be spoken about for years and years to come. Will this Manchester United team ever be spoken about in anywhere near the reverential terms that that man was? Well, for one man today, Bruno Fernandes captaining the side. It could be a memorable night for him. He is a goal short of 150 across his career, not just for Manchester United, right the way across his career, I should point out. But it was the Sheffield United that get us underway, shooting from right to left in their red and white striped jerseys, black shorts, black socks. Manchester United in their changed kit And apparently it is easier for us to see them in black and white stripes than all red. Who knows? I'm not sure either kit would work tonight. That's why you have 3, isn't it? But the 2 sets of players take to the knee, and then we are finally underway. Cameron Archer coming back to the centre half, Jack Robinson, and they boom it forward to Sheffield United. But Manchester United have won it with Anthony, and he'll come down the right-hand side. He's tripped there on this near side. It's a free kick for Manchester United. And this is one of those nights, isn't it, where, as you mentioned, Sheffield United will be up for it, but United, if they've got anything about them, would be expected to dominate a side with 1 point from 8 games.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. When I think of United of old, yes, they would have done. I mean, you've got a Sheffield United side that are playing a back 4, and they're missing key defenders as well. And they've gone into a system which they don't normally play, which is 4 at the back.
Yeah.
Jack Robinson isn't a centre half, in my opinion, in a back 4.
No.
Good in a 3, but not in a 4. So I'd like to see United really get at them, and that's really to be more creative, what to do, open up spaces so we can really see the best of Hoyland.
Harry Maguire has forgotten that he's only a former Sheffield United player there. He gave the ball away, and then a free kick as Manchester United put one on Cameron Archer, who was really impressive, by the way, in the one Sheffield United game I've commentated on this season against Everton, when they drew 2 apiece. He was absolutely outstanding. Scored 1, made 1. I mean, you know, unlucky that the second one came off the post and back out in off of Jordan Pickford's head that night. So he can be a threat, and there were signs of life in that department with Ollie McBurney up top, as Sheffield United's free kick from the left goes into Manchester United's box and is easily headed away by the first man. Fotheringham has it now away to our right-hand side, all in green, chased down by Hoyland. It was Bruno Fernandes that was underneath that, heads it out of play on this near side, and Luke Thomas takes the throw. And Paul Heckingbottom, who's, I always think, looks like he's desperate to break out into hysterics, Paul Heckingbottom. He's got one of those sort of smiley faces. And, well, so far, his team, well, neither side really have settled. 2 minutes in, still scoreless, and neither side are able to get much control of the ball. Maybe now, though. Archer getting it down to McBurney, who's played him up towards the edge of the box, tries to cut it back. It's too close to Maguire. His clearance only goes to Harmer, hits Maguire, and then McBurney it broke to, and that's a huge opportunity in behind the Manchester United defence. Only had Onana to beat, and he's failed to do it. A tame shot, Onana drops on it down to his left-hand side. It should already be Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 0. Somehow, though, it's not, although I suspect an offside flag might have gone up had it gone in.
Well, I don't think it would have. Given in hindsight, it might not have done, but just McBurney didn't really look where the goalkeeper was. He just hit it. He's hit it almost straight down the middle. He doesn't even go for one of the corners from it. The worrying thing there for me is that Harry Maguire is more worried about putting his arm up in the air for offside than doing a defending job.
I think it came off of Archer, didn't it? It might just have been, would have depended on what position McBurney was in. If he was behind the ball, then you're fine, of course, but it's cleared away by Sheffield United from the edge of their box, and Manchester United are yet to really get going, and I'm not sure they've strung more than 2 passes about as yet. And yet again, Dalot gives it away, but Bruno Fernandes comes in and mops up, gives it to Sofian Amrabat, beginning to build a Premier League career. It'll be interesting to see whether they do make that permanent next summer, this Amrabat deal. There is an option as the ball bounces on through to Wes Fotheringham. Manchester United, it feels like they have a lot of work to do, and I mean, I made the point in the build-up, and I said I'd ask you about it, so let's ask the question, Paul. I mean, that turnaround against Brentford, are we thinking sort of season-defining moment, or is there an awful lot of questions still after that performance?
It's not going to be like it was last season, so in other words, the answer to that question is no. It's not going to define anything. They're missing too many key players, and they haven't got that personnel at the moment that's going to take them in that direction.
Should we be taking that into account when we're talking about Manchester United at the moment? I mean, he really is without an entire first-choice defence. That's good running coming forward by Vinicius Souza. He was Fouled there by Amrabat, but no such luck for him. And then Højlund tries to hold it up, gives it to Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United lose out, and yet again they've given it away. This time Dalot. They absolutely can't keep the ball, Manchester United. McBurney. Cameron Archer drifting slightly left. Gives it to McBurney once more. Now he comes back to Oliver Norwood, the captain. Square to Vinicius Souza. Out to the right-hand side. And joining in comes Robinson, who, interestingly, is actually playing on the right-hand side at the moment. On the left-hand side, I should say, at the moment. Ooh. As a challenge comes in there over on the near side.
He's injured himself. He's just injured himself, Dalot. The way he's gone there, and they're trying to look for a foul, and he could have injured himself more. It's terrible the way Dalot threw himself in there, needless.
So it is very much Mukati who's playing out on the right-hand side for Sheffield United at the moment, as Anthony goes down under a challenge by Luke Thomas, from a Leicester City man. This kit, by the way, clash. Is it just me?
It's absolutely ugly on the eyes.
It's horrendous.
It's absolutely awful. I think I'm watching some game. This doesn't seem like we're watching supposed to be looking at the top league in the world and looking at teams wearing this kit.
Yeah.
It just looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm not being disrespectful to Sheffield Wednesday. It's just, why Manchester United?
Why are they in black and white stripes? They've got three kits, right?
I think it's green. Isn't it like a kind of a green or something?
I think
but it looks terrible. They've got the plain one, whatever that is.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I think that all red would be easier to see apart from Sheffield United than this. And I say that, and it's not all about me, but I say that as a colourblind person as well. It's a disgrace, frankly. There will be a lot of colourblind people in the crowd today, as Sheffield United rather waste possession there. It was Mukati's pass that didn't find his runner in Bogle. As Harry Maguire, I don't even know how to describe that. It's interesting.
Yeah.
The record with Harry Maguire, by the way, is significant. It's actually sensational since October 2022. 15 games played, 14 wins and 1 defeat in that time. All the rest of the games, 40-odd. It's about 50% win rate otherwise. As Rashford loses out in a challenge with Bogle, who scored against Manchester City earlier in the season. How he'd like to find an opportunity to do so again. Cameron Archer briefly got released there. That was Diogo Dalot that tried to get back at him. Referee Michael Oliver blows his whistle for an offside flag that went up over on the far side. And 8 minutes gone, Paul Parker. I mean, forget ugly on the eyes of the shirt. It's ugly on the eyes and on the pitch in terms of the actual football being played, and particularly if you're of a Manchester United persuasion.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield United are doing exactly what I would have expected of them. If I wasn't going to see this, if I wasn't seeing them like this, you'd have to talk about the manager. They're going to have to change the manager because the players just are not doing enough. He hasn't got them wound up enough, understanding what this fixture's about, and they have at the moment. They're on fire. They're chasing everything.
Bruno Fernandes trying to get it in behind for Anthony, and he goes in a foot race on this near side with Luke Thomas. He's adjudged to have fouled the young England under-21 international. Former under-21 international now, of course, having passed that age threshold.
Well, Leeds United now have got into the attacking third. That's the first time they've been in there. Haven't got anything from it. It's gone back to a goal kick.
At TalkSport Live on X, formerly Twitter, if you'd like to get in touch with us, by the way. Give us your thoughts on this particular game this evening. Always happy to hear from you. Show us where you're listening from. Send us photos. Wherever you are in the world, we always enjoy seeing them and reading your thoughts. You having Erik ten Hag, Manchester United fans? You having this team? What if you're a Twitter blade, as they call themselves on that particular social media network? Give us your thoughts on this particular Sheffield United start to the season as they come down the right-hand side. Mukati of Manchester City, of course, left foot ball into the box, headed away by Amrabat on the edge of his own 18-yard box. Højlund doesn't even try to go in there in the midfield. with Sousa, and Sheffield United come again. Head down by McBurney, finds Archer. They do tend to know where each other is, I have to say, McBurney and Archer. McTominay having to tackle with his second touch there. It doesn't work for him though, and Amrabat spreads play out to Marcus Rashford, who'll start in a deep position just inside his own half, out on the left. Decided to check rather than take on Bogle, and the ball is played up towards Rasmus Højlund. Bounces once straight into Fotheringham. 10 minutes gone. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0, and frankly it's awful from Manchester United. And Sheffield United come forward again. Good ball up to McBurney, who's happy to drop deep so frequently. McAtee now. 3 black and white shirts around him, so he comes back down the line for Jayden Bogle. Gets it back to McAtee, plays it off of Lindelöf, who himself has had a really tough international break as part of that Swedish side in Belgium on the night of a terror attack in the city in which 2 people wearing Sweden jerseys were shot, and the game was called off at half-time. Absolutely terrifying situation for them. And so he will have had a difficult time in his head. And he's going to have to help marshal Manchester United's defence tonight, particularly right now, with an Oliver Norwood free kick to come from the left-hand side.
The thing about it, I don't normally see McAtee playing out wide, so there must be a reason why. And I just wonder if it's to get him in a 1-against-1 with Lindelöf.
Foul tackle by Norwood on Anthony. Yeah, I mean, it crossed my mind as well, but they're just so struggling for injuries at the moment, aren't they? And I guess there's so much change, isn't there, going from the 3 to the 4. And Bogle is very much, you know, somebody who will fly forward. Thomas the same. You mentioned it yourself that Robinson isn't really a centre-half in a 4. It's so difficult for him to sort out this particular team with all the injuries, as Maguire, slightly ponderous, but eventually does find a good ball through the lines towards Anthony. He squared it into Bruno Fernandes, ball through. The slide rule pass was never going to find Rasmus Højlund, and the long one away. McBurney manages to do well to get it up to Archer, who's a busybody, isn't he, Cameron Archer? And now here comes Harmer down the left-hand side, 2 black and white shirts with him. Amrabat got a toe on it. Harmer still emerges with the ball, the Dutchman. Thomas. Now Harmer gets it back from Norwood, spreads it out to the right-hand side. Here is McAtee. Bogle goes on the underlap. McAtee's ball in. Header is not away by Evans. Might drop to McBurney, will it? Dallow's the wrong side. And Harry Maguire managed to get the ball to Amrabat, and his clearance came away. And listen to the noise in Yorkshire, because the Sheffield United fans sense that their team are on the cusp of something today.
Well, he's turned around and he must have told him, Heckingbottom, so he's got Archer and obviously with McBurney, and they're virtually almost playing like a 4-4-2. Both of them are working off each other, and they're making bad balls into slightly better balls. They're challenging for everything. The 2 centre-halves of Manchester United are struggling to get a breath back because they're constantly under pressure when they get the ball. And the only problem is that United are getting the ball and they're being too laboured with it. No one's close to Højlund at all. I don't know where McTominay's playing. I think it seems like they've pushed him further forward because of looking how he plays for Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the problem is if you're doing...
it's very much Amrabat and Fernandes, isn't it? The deeper 2.
But they've got to get on the ball first before he can come into the game. He's not going to run beyond. They can't go route 1 because he's too far away from Højlund. At the moment, the only way they're going to push on is to get hold of the ball. It's absolutely really poor at this moment in time. The team is so disjointed with the ball, and without the ball they're all over the place. It's like going into a box and it's like all Scrabble pieces. They're all over the place.
It's a very nice description of it. How many points are you giving Manchester United to this point? That's the question.
If we're talking about a game of Scrabble, one word, the lowest is one, isn't it?
I thought you were going to give us a blank.
Oh, the blank.
The blank's worth nothing. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 0. That's about the only positive thing you can say about the visitors' performance so far. Harry Maguire has it. Under no real pressure for the first time, really, in his blue boots. Moving it to the right-hand side for Dalot. Quite narrow Dalot there. Anthony tries to spin the ball around Thomas. and spins it straight out of play. Robinson clears. Header away by Maguire. Header comes straight back at them by Harmer. McBurney. Coming forward is Bogle, inside right position. He's got one outside of him. Just ran straight into Johnny Evans, and it's picked up by Bruno Fernandes. And maybe now Manchester United can create something. Fernandes' ball just had to slow down in Rashford to receive it. It's slightly behind him, but he's up towards the left edge of the 18-yard box. Cutting in field. Where's his option? Where's the movement? Not much of it. It does come back for Bruno Fernandes. Now up to Anthony. Anthony opens up his left foot and shoots, and it bobbled, frankly, towards Wes Foderingham, who makes a very, very, very comfortable save.
Did, and that's as good as it's been. United as an attack inside, their first real passage of play that allowed them to get shots at goal, and the shot comes from Anthony, and we know Anthony hasn't got the most powerful of left foots, has he?
Not sure what he's got that you'd call powerful, frankly. Yeah.
As you might have noticed, I haven't come back with an answer for that one.
Harry Maguire has the ball for Manchester United. Dalot. It's quite narrow, Manchester United, really. It almost is like a back three at times, isn't it? With, when they're in possession. With Lindelof sort of, moving forward into midfield.
Yeah, but the problem with that, though, it's all well and good doing that because everyone else is doing it, but you've got to have decent possession of the ball and believe it's going to happen. So what happens if they do lose the ball, as they're always likely to do? What's Lindelof going to do then?
There's a good ball over the top down the left-hand side by Bruno Fernandes to Rashford. Rashford's cross comes in. It's headed up rather than out by Thomas to Anthony. Left foot volley. Absolutely smashed wide into the advertising hoardings, but better from United, albeit no real end product.
That's going to be, I don't know whether that was offside, that initial ball from Fernandes to Marcus Rashford, but it's as good as it's been, really, and it's always going to be difficult to score. He's virtually hitting it straight on it. The ball was too close to his body was too upright. That was more in hope than anything else from Anthony.
Yeah, difficult skill. Starting for the first time since the notable troubles that he's had, which we will not go into on this particular broadcast for Anthony, but banked a lot of money on him as the ball comes into the Manchester United box, and Onana absolutely cleans out Johnny Evans there in order to claim it.
He's done a wrist, hasn't he?
Another injury, is it?
No.
Let's see this again. It was Maguire's.
Poor head. He's headed that at knee height, isn't he?
Yeah. He looks nervy, doesn't he, all the time, as Harry Maguire at the moment. And yeah, I have to say, I don't know what you thought. I thought with England, he did fine, did okay, didn't he, over the course of the international break? You're not as complimentary as me, maybe.
Well, I mean, you can't. International football from club football is different. Yeah. International football standards have dropped. The Italians were very, very poor. In international football, you sit deep. Harry Maguire is only at the best he can be if he sits deep.
Yeah.
Can't play in a team that's holding a high line.
Which is interesting because Manchester United's starting position, the average starting position of the entire team, is higher up the pitch than any other Premier League side on average this season.
That must be from kick-off then. I don't see it during the game. Trust me.
They also had a higher number of turnovers in the opposition third than any other team in the Premier League. They haven't scored from one yet, by the way.
Well, let me just say this to you. That's the difference with stats.
Yeah.
If you watch the game,
of course, I'm not.
See, now you told me that. I'm going, well, that's rubbish because they gain nothing from it if they're doing it.
Yes.
I don't see that in the game. When I watch certain teams, and you watch Liverpool when Liverpool do it, you can see in Liverpool, you can see the way they move up. It's like military.
Yeah, those sort of pressing actions. Yeah. It feels like there's a purpose. Whereas Manchester United might be successful at them, but then what you do with it once you've got the ball. There's a tame free kick is given away by Victor Lindelof on McAtee.
But the thing about it though, McAtee virtually said the referee's fouled him, and the referee's gone. McAtee virtually stopped. Lindelof's allowed him to stop, and he's gone, oh, okay, it's a foul. I wish football was like that when I was playing. Ref, he's fouled me. Oh, okay, Paul, you can have the ball now.
Free kick for Sheffield United to deliver the ball into the box from deep over on the right-hand side. Ball comes in. It was a good, brave header, actually, that by Johnny Evans.
He was a bit of a sandwich, wasn't he?
Yeah, he really was. Got up well, and then Andre Onana's down now.
He's done a hamstring.
I don't know if that's the collision with Johnny Evans, is it? But
he looks like he's going to come off. He's talking about hamstring.
Ollie McBurney's sat down as well. Quite sure how this has come about. Well, they've got a potential debutant goalkeeper on the substitutes bench today, Altai Bayandir, that they spent. I mean, it's mad to say that £4.3 million isn't decent money, but of course in Premier League terms it's not. Still they have faith. He's a tall figure, and let's be honest, there'll be some Man United fans, I think, thinking, well, we might as well give him a chance, given what we've seen from Andre Onana so far. But he looks okay. He looks like he'll continue. He's back to his feet, dressed all in yellow away to our left. But this is one of those now with the opportunity that Sheffield United have got to try and bombard the ball onto him. And Ollie McBurney is a big old figure who's standing around him as well. And he's asking Harry Maguire to come back and help do some defending from this long throw-in, which will be taken by Jack Robinson. Straight up to the edge of the 6-yard box, but McTominay away. Robinson picks up. There was a little hack at him there by Anthony. Thomas gets the ball back to Robinson. It's all a bit awkward. Thomas takes it down brilliantly on the left foot, drives into the 18-yard box, tries the cross, hits Dalot. Corner, Sheffield United.
Yeah, that was fantastic play by Thomas as well. He was
what a touch! He was the
first to react, and his first touch on the outside of his left foot, he just went in between two of the United players like they weren't there, and then they couldn't have stuck out a leg. They was in trouble.
Dalot did just enough. Again, McBurney lurks by Andre Onana. There's the delivery towards the near post, not the best, headed away by Manchester United. Anthony just pulled out of the challenge there when Thomas had it. Ball into the Manchester United box. Another bit of brilliant skill there to take it out the sky by McAtee on the left-hand side at the moment. Bruno Fernandes does enough to get a tackle in and hold him up, but it's now with Harmer. Harmer's pass into the box is allowed McTominay to come in and smack it away into the Sheffield United half.
I'm just looking at United now, and I think to myself, how are they going to get hold of the game? And the problem is they've got Fernandes playing virtually on the left-hand side around Marcus Rashford. McTominay, I'm not really sure. Is he tries to be a defensive midfield player? I'm not really sure. But they don't get enough players around the ball to keep possession. Everyone's so far away. The passes they're making are more kind of, I don't know, they're just kind of percentage passes rather than passes of like belief that you're going to be able to keep the ball and take this game away, take away the energy from Sheffield United. They can't slow it down at all.
Manchester United are unbeaten on their last 4 visits to Bramall Lane. 3 of those victories. Tell you what, last time Sheffield United avoided defeat in this fixture was some game, a 3-all, in which, by the way, Ollie McBurney scored a 90th minute equaliser for a Sheffield United team that were 3-2 down, having been 2-0 up. So that was some game. This one doesn't feel like we're necessarily going to have the quality in front of goal to get 6 goals, although Manchester United give it away, and here comes Cameron Archer. Shot low, bounces back off the keeper, and he's very lucky that Diogo Dalot was the quickest to get back and turn it behind, because it bounced in front of him. He didn't push it away to the side as goalkeepers should do. I think actually he thought he was going to gather it, and his handling just let him down. Maybe not, no, it was one-handed right hand save as he dived down. It went through the legs of Harry Maguire, but he did sort of dive past it, didn't he? It hit his arm rather than his hand.
It did, and
as I say, Dalot got back to smash it behind.
Yeah, it could have gone anywhere, and it was going anywhere, straight to a Sheffield United player.
Corner taken short. Thomas back into the box. They've been a bit too intricate there, and I thought for a second Fernandes was a bit too casual, but didn't allow Manchester United to clear it, and on halfway it's picked up by Luke Thomas, and then Jayden Bogle comes back to his goalkeeper, and Rasmus Højlund is trying to urge his team up the field Possibly because he's been so isolated so far. Barely remember him having a touch.
Oh, and all he's done really is chase. And if anybody is watching this game on TV, I'll turn around and do what I'm trying to do at the moment. Imagine that United are playing in red and white stripes.
Long ball forward, headed away by Maguire. It's not too much of a stretch to imagine that, of course, because the kits are so similar. Ball is with Robinson, left edge of the centre circle, defensive half. Norwood, Bogle, Rashford coming to press him.
Surprised you didn't have to do that one. Anyone watching in black and white.
Not quite in that day and age anymore, I don't think. Nice layoff by Archer towards but I tell you what, there's a real player in Cameron Archer, I think.
There is, yeah. But you know what? It's the first time I've really seen consistently a striker, someone playing off of a striker.
Yes.
You know, they keep talking about number 10s,
yes.
And normally they got their socks round their ankles, and they're trying to have this swagger about them. Cameron Archer's playing it, and he's playing it with real determination and a real objective to get to the other side and get close to McBurney.
Yes.
Every time the ball goes into McBurney, he's fighting to get there all the time, and it's good to watch at the moment. If you're a Sheffield United fan, you'd be really happy with what you're seeing at the moment.
Ball over the top towards Højlund is claimed on the edge of the box by Wes Foderingham. Honestly, it's like watching Tony Pulis ball, isn't it, at the moment? They're just launching it long. They've got nothing otherwise. Anthony just didn't want that. No. He didn't want it, and it allowed Robinson to get in and make the tackle when Manchester United looked like they had clear ball. Fernandes does press and win it for Manchester United, and here's Anthony. Dallow's narrow, just behind the outstretched leg of Rasmus Højlund, who was going left, and the ball went right. Manchester United have it back with Maguire. Tackle comes in on the near side there. Challenge by Vinicius Souza into touch on the near side, and Harry Maguire is rolling around.
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing what he's just done there, Harry Maguire. Cannot believe he's gone and done that.
Let's see this again. How much of the man did he get, and how much of the ball? I'm not sure. I think actually maybe his studs were in the ground and Souza's leg comes through on him. I think there might be maybe an ankle or...
No, he's holding what wasn't, and then he's rolled off and he's rolled back on again. And then he wants treatment.
Well, he's not had any treatment, and he will be able to carry on, but he's moving gingerly. Diogo Dalot will take just a throw. It wasn't a foul. There's never any question that it was a foul. And there's Anthony turning away from one red and white shirt. Comes back to Dalot via Fernandes, and then Dalot makes the run behind. That's nice work by Anthony. To the back post, Foderingham went for it. McTominay chases it out to the far side, then leaves it for Rashford. Rashford up against Bogle. Comes for Lindelof. Lindelof in towards Fernandes. Tries to loop that one up to McTominay, bobble towards goal, and his rich goal-scoring form continues. It felt like there was an element of luck about it. It was awkward. It was not in any way the smooth, free-flowing football that Sir Bobby Charlton enjoyed all those years ago. But his beloved Manchester United do at least have the lead against the run and play, we have to say, at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Manchester United 1. Scott McTominay given the freedom of the 18-yard box when the ball bounced off his chest to bring it down and hit the shot first time into the bottom corner.
I really hope that Fernandes is not given that as an assist, because it was a horrible assist. He fired it almost at Scott McTominay's head, and he jumps a little, takes it on his chest quite awkwardly, and when he kicks it, he's kicking it straight on. It was, everything about it was wrong, but somehow it manages to go in. And it initially starts from a poor cross from Dalot, which Foderingham went for, which he shouldn't have done really, and he's virtually kept it alive, otherwise he goes out for a goal kick.
Here come the Sheffield United, though. Archer was played in behind. Maguire did get in the right position that time to block the shot. It does not feel like this game will end 1-0. It has to be said to Manchester United. There's got to be more goals in it, but why did nobody go for the ball? It's like the entire pitch stopped when the ball was in the air off of McTominay's chest. It was bizarre. because someone had to close that ball down, surely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they just fell asleep in there, and that's Paul Heckingbottom must be wondering what's going on. He just cannot understand how he's 1-0 down, and this is the bits which is out of your control as a manager. You can't ask for anything more from your players, and all you're hoping for him is to deliver something, and they just haven't done it for him really. If they go 1-0 up, when they've gone, yep, okay, you've deserved that. Now what can you do next? They haven't been given that opportunity. United have taken that away. Now it's back on United now. What are you going to do now? How are you going to get control of this game now you've got that cushion at 1-0?
Ball is with Maguire on the right-hand side. Comes into Johnny Evans in the back of this defensive three. At this moment in time, it's Lindelof who's joined in. Oof. Now they come forward towards Dalot. It very much is, isn't it? When Dalot gets forward, Lindelof joins in the back three. And when Lindelof goes forward, it's Dalot. Here come Sheffield United again, though. McAtee steps in field. It's a very optimistic shout from the fans for a penalty there. Manchester United give it away again. It's McAtee once more. Bogle going inside of him. McAtee's ball in. Surely that's a penalty off of McTominay. Oh. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. It came from a long way away. It wasn't exactly drilled at pace. His left hand was out, and is standing there with his arms out questioning why that's been given. Well, basically because you were standing there with your arms out when the ball came in and it hit your hand.
Be interesting.
Penalty Sheffield United.
Be interesting where his arms are when it hits.
They're out in the middle of the air. I mean, that is, what a waste of scoring the goal.
Oh, he moves his hand out.
Stuck his arm out.
Yeah, he moved his arm
to try and block the ball. Absolutely ridiculous decision.
If his arm had been down and where it was, it hit him, I think there would have been a big doubt. But because he's moved his arms out, doesn't matter, to the area, that's the problem, because he's moved his arm. Keeps his arm still when the ball's been kicked.
They are checking it, VAR.
Well, they're going to, aren't they? They check everything, regardless.
Sheffield United haven't had a penalty in their last 40 league games. You've got to go back to October 2022. Just over a year, back on the 15th of October. And they scored one against, when I should say they missed one against Blackpool. In fact, they missed both of their penalties last season in the Championship. Are they going to get one here now? I can't understand.
Why is it taking so long? Is that what you're going to say?
Bizarre why it's taking so long. John Brooks is the VAR. What are you doing? I mean, I thought it in real time, first viewing, I thought there's absolutely no doubt that's a penalty. We've since seen it again once, and we've both gone, yeah, it's a penalty. And finally, Michael Oliver points to the spot and says, yes, it's a penalty. So Ollie McBurney, who scored the last time Sheffield United avoided defeat to Manchester United at Bramall Lane. They actually did win the last meeting against them, but that was at Old Trafford back in January 2021. Andre Onana's taking his time, having a nice drink. McBurney has missed 3 of his last 5 penalties. Andre Onana standing on his goal line, being warned to stay there by Michael Oliver, who's now walked between the ball and Ollie McBurney. And here comes the Scottish international. And scores just off the inside of the post. The goalkeeper went the right way, diving to his left. But Ollie McBurney has made it Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1, and you've got to say that is the very least they deserve.
Yep, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, there can't be any argument. Scott McTominay's goal. He has to sit again. He believes he's kept his arms down, but he's moved his arm up towards the ball, which in certain ways is quite, because you don't want it to go past you. You do that. It's a natural to do it, because you don't want it to go past you.
There was no saving that pen, was there?
No, it wasn't, no.
Just his 8th ever Premier League goal. A quarter of those are coming against Manchester United now. I was going to say it's not a bad record. It's a bad record for a striker, but it's not a bad record if a quarter of your goals come against Man United.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it again, as I've done on numerous occasions. Scott McTominay sees that himself, and he knows he's given away a penalty there. He might even know already, and he's believing that he's got to say that
Harmer with a foul on Diogo Dalot, who stayed down holding his chest. Don't know what Erik ten Hag's shaking his head about. At TalkSport Live is the Twitter or X handle if you want to get in touch with us. We've had somebody get in touch whose handle is IB Fun. Man United are the worst Premier League team to watch now. Every team playing against them turned super team. No game plan at all. What really is the problem? I'm not sure anyone's turned super team. I think they're just not that good. Here's Diogo Dalot up against Robinson down the right-hand side. Bounce back off of the Portuguese. He's done, I say done well. It's a bit of luck, really, that he's got the ball back. Lindelof is helping the attack. Now they work it to the edge of the box for Bruno Fernandes. Nice touch, actually. Works it right for Dalot. The cross is very, very deep. Rashford will pick up over on the far side, the left. Takes it back towards the touchline. Lindelof is available if he wants him. Amrabat makes a run into the box. Rashford briefly gets the ball caught under his feet with 3 red and white shirts around him, and their press has forced Manchester United back to halfway. Maguire has had to play a difficult pass, but he's done well enough to keep in to Bruno Fernandes. He now gets some support from Antony. Fernandes again. That's awful with his left foot. Straight into the midfield there, but Lindelof smacks it away before McAtee can try and get away, but I don't know what that was from the Manchester United skipper. Straight into McAtee, and he's lucky that it bounced away from him enough that Lindelof was able to slide in, because Sheffield United would have been away.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking now from your captain, you're looking to somebody to get around to everybody to let them know what you're looking for.
Maguire waited for that one. His header down is only at McBurney, though. Harmer, here comes McAtee, edge of the area, wants a shooting opportunity. Harmer, twisting, turning, lays in, cut Archer. McAtee goes left. Archer is tackled. Manchester United get it away, and Antony tries to tear it. I thought for a second that Antony was going to get away from his man there, and he's probably quick enough that he'd have kept him away. There was a little pullback, and Luke Thomas goes into the referee's notebook. First yellow card of the day.
That was a needless foul for him, Luke Thomas. He's played quite well. He's put himself under pressure now. I mean, look where Antony was and where he might have got to. It was a pointless foul to give away, and even more pointless that he now is on a yellow card.
Maguire, Amrabat. The other thing I think about this Manchester United team is the players keep switching positions almost. I mean, currently the back three is Lindelof, Maguire and Amrabat. I've seen Evans in there, I've seen Dalot in there, I've seen... I'm a bit confused about what I'm watching with Man United. I'm almost not sure that the players know what they're doing. Antony's delivery to the back post, Rashford, cross goal! How did Højlund not get a touch? How did he not touch that home from a yard? Sliding in. That's been the best of Man United, by the way, right there. Antony's cross on his left foot. Rashford getting into the byline, touching it across. And my word, Højlund is a stud's width away from making that 2-1 Manchester United. So close.
It was, and you're not far off on your measurements there. He was really, really close. He had a player hanging around his neck as well, and he's done well to get that far. And that's as good as it's been when you look at about if it was, that kind of play. And it was Antony who's stepped inside over the far post, and Rashford's come in at the back of the 6-yard box, puts it straight across the goal line. And Højlund just couldn't get anywhere well, he got near to it, just not near enough.
Manchester United have the ball at the back, and they work it to Lindelof. Now Maguire goes long, looking for Bruno Fernandes, who's taken up a position left side of the 18-yard box. What's the cross like? Completely scuffed it left-footed, and then Højlund's gone down as if he was hurt. He doesn't seem to be claiming for a penalty. And here come Sheffield United again down the right-hand side. Rashford getting back at McAtee, gives away the free kick. Sheffield United will have a free dead ball on the right-hand side, tight to the touchline.
I think that was a little bit of petulance there on his part, Marcus Rashford. he got the ball nicked away from him by McAtee. His first run back, I'm going to recover. He just runs straight for the player and knocks him over.
Here comes the delivery into the Manchester United box, headed away by Lindelof. Rasmus Højlund holds it up quite nicely there. Proper centre forwards play. Laid it off to Amrabat. Manchester United still deep inside their own half though. And then of course, because Højlund was so deep, they clear it up forward. And Luke Thomas has the simple task of picking up, totally unchallenged. And here comes Sheffield United again. Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Bang on the 40-minute mark. So 5 minutes left for play before we reach the break. And there's Evans chesting it to Lindelof over on the left-hand side. Comes back to Andre Onana, who could do nothing about the goal so far, although he's a bit fortunate that the save earlier on from Archer bounced back to Dallow rather than the on-rushing Sheffield United attacker, because I think he'd have been blamed for another goal had it bounced the wrong way for him there. Anthony is now over on the left-hand side briefly. Rashford's moved into the centre. See what I mean? There's nobody staying in their position. Not one player has stayed in their position at any point in this game so far for Manchester United. It might be confusing for the defence, but how can you build partnerships? How can you build relationships? How can you really know where you're supposed to be at any one time?
I just don't think they're in that position to do that at the moment. They need to get some kind of structure.
Anthony's ball forward hit Vinicius Souza and bounced back to Johnny Evans. Now Lindelof coming forward. McTominay lays it off from the edge of the box to Anthony. There's his cross, goes an awful long way. It'll be chased out to the near side by Bruno Fernandes. Harry Maguire's currently in the box. Fernandes goes for the early ball into the box. Terrible cross, cleared away. Archer picks up, takes it away from one, hits Amrabat, bounces back to Archer. Nothing going for Man United at the moment. Cameron Archer darts inside, going all the way himself here. Gives it up to McBurney. McBurney lays it off to Archer. Onana closes down the angle, does just enough. Still Sheffield United come. That was a great bit of interplay there between Archer and McBurney, resulting in Archer's shot. Sheffield United the better team by a distance. Although they've given the ball away there to Anthony. Anthony with Rasmus Højlund darting beyond him. Ball goes slightly between his legs. Trusty's with Rasmus Højlund. Coming back is Vinicius Souza. Højlund bounces off of him. He's done really well to maintain possession, you have to say, the young Dane there. And he gives it to Marcus Rashford now. But Sheffield United back in their shape to some extent.
Yeah, he's done well there. Højlund, without a doubt, under pressure. Kept his composure. Kept possession for Manchester United. That was wonderful play again. McBurney and Archer. Great play.
You saw it, as I said, the only Sheffield United game I've commentated this season was Archer's debut when he scored. Really, you'd say he scored two, but you know, one goes down as an own goal. And there was an obvious, immediate side of a partnership there. McBurney, for all that he might not score many goals, there's a footballer in there.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Here's Rashford left-hand side, taking on Souza. Good skill by Rashford until the left foot cross is cleared away. Comes out as far as Amrabat. Now here's Bruno Fernandes, 20 yards from goal. Fouled there by Oliver Norwood. And that's possibly almost exactly where Manchester United would place the ball if they were told, where would you like a free kick from?
Well, Bruno was trying to work one out there and he's got it worked out, and he's gone in towards the leg as well, as you've just seen now. He saw the leg planted and outstretched, and he's just taken the ball to it, goes over.
Marcus Rashford among the pair standing over it. Bruno Fernandes is the alternative.
I think it has to be more Fernandes, if anything, because Marcus Rashford is the person who's going to want to whack it. I think it's a bit close to what he tries to do anyway.
Anthony walks away. I think you're right. I think it will be the Portuguese. There he goes. Oh, he's hit the crossbar and it's bounced over. Oh, it's a decent effort, more than decent by Bruno Fernandes, but it's not gone in. And it's a goal kick. Dipped wickedly at the last moment, right over the wall. Looked for all the world like it was going to go high over the bar, but the dip brought it down just not quite enough if you're of a Manchester United persuasion.
Keeper knew it was going out as well. Could see by the way he was standing there and watched it, wide-eyed.
Yeah, he was worried, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was worried, very, very worried.
I mean, what a bizarre game this has been. Manchester United took the lead through McTominay. Sheffield United get back after McTominay gave away the free kick. The penalty I should say. Manchester United have been awful, and they're defending again here. Lindelof will get in ahead of Bogle. His clearance will go short to Bruno Fernandes. Now it's up towards Rashford. There was a touch there by Vinicius Souza, but Rashford still has it. It's come off of Trusty last, throw into Manchester United, which he wants to take quickly. Trusty was standing in front of him, and I think he said he said to the referee, Austin Trusty has prevented me from taking that as quickly as I would have liked, and surely that's a yellow card. And in fairness, that's right. But what I would say is that the rules of nowadays are that if you complain in the way Rashford does to the referee, you're supposed to get a yellow card for that as well.
Yeah.
So Trusty has been booked. I would argue Rashford's lucky not to get away with one, even though he was technically correct, as we move into 6 minutes of stoppage time. 1-1. It feels just bizarre that we've had 2 goals, because it's not been that kind of game, has it?
No.
Amrabat, right side, inside the Sheffield United half. Anthony, Amrabat. Manchester United's next league game is Manchester City. That'll be funny. Rashford taking on Bogle, left foot cross. Poor. Away by Norwood. Throw in Man United. Just about level with the penalty spot on the left.
I don't know if Bogle's meant to be forcing him on his left side, but he's doing it too often. At one point, he's actually going to maybe make a decent cross with his left foot. Not that he's got any strength or anything in there to actually get beyond the first man, but you can't keep letting someone get to the byline all the time.
Maguire up to Rashford once more. High up on the left-hand side. Onto his right foot this time. Closed down by McBurney, who's helping out defensively. Now Maguire via Evans. Bending it up towards Rashford once again. Header away by Vinicius Souza. And away by Makati. Evans picks up on halfway. You can see what you mean by the high line, though. I mean, this is currently, bar Maguire, they're basically on the halfway line, aren't they, the entire team?
Yeah, they do that in theory, but what do they get out of it? They get nothing out of it, and it's meant to be giving you that opportunity to spring forward, and then if you lose the ball, to be able to get close and get it back again.
But effectively, you're squeezing 22 players into half of the pitch, aren't you? So you've got to be accurate with your passing. And even just there, we've just seen it's not Bruno Fernandes' pass was square, 15 yards to Amrabat, but he still had to take 10, 15 yards to make sure that he kept the ball safe there, although Archer's given it away to Bruno Fernandes. Going to come out to Rashford, making space towards the edge of the box. Shot! Hoyland! That's a brilliant save by Fotheringham. Brilliant save. Did the flag stay down? Yes. Rashford's shot deflected into Hoyland. He got lucky with the touch, but it allowed him to stretch towards goal. He was well onside. Played on by Trusty. It was a super touch to make the ball dead, and then he stabbed towards goal. Fotheringham getting enough to turn it away for a Man United corner, which comes in now towards Maguire, but Burney beats him to it. Maguire goes down. Anthony picks up on the near side from the header out. Anthony's cross comes in, but Burney's header away again, and it's smashed away. Anywhere will do for Sheffield United, who are under the cosh just a little bit at the moment.
Well, they're under the cosh normally, not under so much. They give away opportunities of their own doing. Cameron Archer made his first real mistake of the game, trying to be a little bit too clever, 20 yards away from his own goal, and it nearly cost them. Needless it was what he tried. That's why he smashed that one just then.
Yeah, keep safety first in mind. It was a super save by Fotheringham, wasn't it, by the way, from Hoyland?
He just got to him really quick. Stays on his line, that goes in, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. It's over on the far side, on the halfway. Manchester United's left with Bruno Fernandes. Now, Lindelof into the centre circle for Harry Maguire. Now the Manchester United captain, the Portuguese, Fernandes again. Moving infield. A little nudge there in the midfield by Norwood. High hanging ball up to Rashford once again, brings it down. And then Amrabat goes on the underlap. Rashford closed down by Souza, who sticks a foot out and gets on it. But it came out as far as the Manchester United captain Fernandes, and Evans goes in. Amrabat's cross Good opportunity for Luke Thomas to head clear, and he's trying to usher his team further up the pitch because they are a bit penned in at the moment. Dallow picks up it goes to Hoyland, flag goes up. It's McTominay, apologies, and it's a free kick for Sheffield United. 4.5 of these 6 minutes of stoppage time. I'm not quite sure where 6 minutes has come from. I suppose there was the VAR for the penalty, wasn't there? As we now see the Hoyland effort again, and it was a hand as well by Fotheringham. He got out quickly to it. It was a really solid hand to turn it away for the corner, and he's now got a goal kick.
Well, just look at United, and everything about him is so slow. Everything is just so laboured from the back to the front. There's no zip. You want Harry Maguire get the ball and ping it to somebody and just virtually say, I'm lending it, give it back. And it forces movement in front then, and then you get it back, and then you might find a space. But everything is slow, and he rolls his foot over the ball. It's too deliberate.
What do you make of what I've been saying about the sort of what looks like a confused Man United system where no player has stayed in the same position the entire match, possibly bar the goalkeeper and Hoyland?
I wouldn't say confused. I don't believe they should be confused, but I just think it's more about they're doing things that they can't do at this moment in time. They're not geared towards it because of the way they're playing, because they're not a unit yet. They're not a team.
Ball away by Onana. Can Hoyland make it stick? He's done brilliantly. Chest initially and then stretching past to Rashford. Now McTominay goes. Good covering challenge by Robinson.
I mean, it wasn't a good ball, was it, by Marcus Rashford that he put in there for McTominay to go on to. It was always going to be in the defender's favour. Scott McTominay's done well to carry on for him. Could have got himself hurt there because there was no way Jack Robinson was going to miss out on that opportunity.
And there goes the half-time whistle. Well, it's been a bizarre old half of football, it has to be said. Manchester United were under the cosh until they took the lead through Scott McTominay. 3 goals now in, 2 halves, wasn't it? Came on late in the game against Brentford and got 2. And then so far in this game, he scored their goal. He then gave away a penalty 6 minutes later, and Ollie McBurney tucked it away really expertly, it has to be said. Andre Onana with absolutely no chance. So at half-time, this game is still very much in the balance. It's lacking quality, but it's not lacking drama and jeopardy. Half-time, Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Comedy Central Radio brings you the biggest names in comedy. All day long, you'll hear the best stand-up comedy from Comedy Central's massive library.
Do you ever ask an adult what they did over the weekend and they say they didn't do anything? Their faces light up.
Every weeknight, you'll hear 2 half hours of comedy for your drive home.
The other day, I got jealous of a dog's thigh gap. I'm not proud of that.
We've got holiday specials and guest comedian takeovers.
I've got something to say.
Comedy Central Radio, Sirius XM 95, or on the Sirius XM app.
All software vendors claim they put your interests first. Before upgrading your business management system, ask them if they give you unlimited user access or allow you to personalize the solution to meet your business needs. Ask if they offer transparent and fair pricing, not locking you into long-term contracts. Do they make it clear that you have the right to own and easily access all of your data? If your vendor doesn't deliver in these critical areas, visit Acumatica.com today to discover how the world's fastest growing cloud ERP company offers all of this and more. Acumatica puts customers first with a product roadmap to address real-world needs and regular feature updates based on your input and feedback. Acumatica, a business solution that truly puts your interests first. Learn more at Acumatica.com. Building the future of business together.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-723-1515. 800-723-1515. That's 800-723-1515.
Don't miss Played In.
We are now joined by Julie Ertz.
I'm obviously sad. I think the first week kind of was an emotional process to get to, but I'm also excited for the next chapter and to really be present with my family. So I've both, I'm so excited about my career and I'm so thankful, but it's hard to say bye to the sport that you love and makes you a big part of who you are.
Played In, Monday evenings at 7 Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157 and on the SXM app.
Well, it has been a dramatic first 45 minutes, it has to be said. With currently the score, Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Maguire, his clearance only goes to Harmer, hits Maguire, and then McBurney it broke to, and that's a huge opportunity in behind the Manchester United defence. Only had Onana to beat, and he's failed to do it. A tame shot, Onana drops on it, down to his left-hand side. It should already be Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 0.
The worrying thing there for me is that Harry Maguire is more worried about putting his arm up in the air for offside than doing a defending job.
Manchester United give it away, and here comes Cameron Archer. Shot low, bounces back off the keeper, and he's very lucky that Diogo Dalot was the quickest to get back and turn it behind because it bounced in front of him. He didn't push it away to the side as goalkeepers should do.
What I'm trying to do at the moment, imagine that United are playing in red and white stripes.
Lindelof in towards Fernandes, tries to loop that one up to McTominay, bobble towards goal, and his rich goal-scoring form continues. It was not in any way the smooth, free-flowing football that Sir Bobby Charlton enjoyed all those years ago.
Really hope that Fernandes is not given that as an assist, because it was a horrible assist. He fired it almost at Scott McTominay's head, and he jumps a little, takes it on his chest quite awkwardly, and when he kicks it, he's kicking it straight on. It was, everything about it was wrong, but somehow it manages to go in.
Dolly McBurney, and scores just off the inside of the post. The goalkeeper went the right way, diving to his left, but Ollie McBurney has made it Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1, and you've got to say that is the very least they deserve. So yes, half-time, it is Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Paul Parker is alongside me, Toby Gillis for this one. I actually nearly forgot my name there for just a brief second, which is probably the most entertaining thing that's happened over the last 45 minutes, Paul. This is I've never done this before. I'm going to ask you, if you were me, what would you ask you? Because it's bizarre, isn't it?
Well, I think what we should do is we have to talk positively about Sheffield United.
Yeah.
That's the bet, and give credit to them and what they've gone and done. I don't think they've had to work too hard in it, because United have been poor this season so far. So the onus was always on them, because they've still got that 8-0 behind them, beating still behind them, still in their mind, still in the fans' mind, still in the players who are involved, and they've had to go and show something. As I said prior to the game, show a little bit of heart and passion to their fans, and maybe for themselves. And that 45 minutes, I think they've gone and done that. The problem is the game isn't 45 minutes. They've got to go out in the second half and play in the same way and show the same heart and commitment, and then they may get something out of it. There's no point doing all this. If they go and get beat, great, you can talk about what they've done, but it's a game which, if you see that first 45 minutes, but they deserve to be in front. But at the end of the game, if they go and deliver the same, then they deserve to win the game, because those little bits where they gave United the edge was their own doing. So they really need to work on it when they're in deeper positions, and maybe carry on what they're doing and get the ball into areas where United can't deal with it, and that's in that back four, just in front of it. Don't worry about playing out the back, put that away, let all the other teams do that. You do what your strength is in this 90 minutes and go at a team that is a little bit battle scarred at the moment, Manchester United. They're not fulfilling their potential.
Yeah, I mean, is there a lot of potential in this particular team? Like, in fairness, we've just mentioned their injuries. Sheffield United have got an awful lot as well, and we shouldn't forget that if we're giving United sort of a let off. But how much potential is there in a team that involves Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire as your centre back?
Do you know what I should have said? Really, potential wasn't about. I was on about the club.
Yes,
there's potential with the club, in the sense of the way they should be going forward as a club, as a team. This is an opportunity for them to get another famous win, Sheffield United, against maybe the poorest Manchester United team to come to Bramall Lane in the Premier League.
Well, look, let's talk about two people that did help Manchester United fulfil that potential, shall we? Because a reminder, if you haven't heard, that Sir Bobby Charlton, the all-time great Sir Bobby Charlton, died earlier on today at the age of 86. And the man that overtook him in Manchester United's goal-scoring charts, Wayne Rooney, has been speaking to us about the legend that is Sir Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, obviously still a bit in shock, coming out at half-time and coming off the second half and hearing the news, and so still in shock really. So sad day for football, sad day for his family, of course. Like to pass on my condolences to them, and but yeah, ultimately still a bit in shock. He's a great and absolute legend of the game, and as I say, win the World Cup '66, European Cup '68. After what he'd been through, obviously, with the Munich disaster in '58, I think he's had a great life, but it's just always a sad moment when someone passed away. And obviously, he's had his issues over the last few years and not been too well. But it's always a shock when you hear the news. I've had many conversations with him about football, about other things as well, and he was the first to congratulate me when I got his record at Manchester United as well. So yeah, he's been a massive help, not just to me but for many players throughout the club throughout the years, and a huge ambassador of the club, and he'll be sadly missed but never forgotten.
Well, we spoke a bit about Sir Bobby Charlton earlier, what Manchester United could do for a player like Wayne Rooney in their ranks now, a leader that can drag performances not just out of himself but out of his teammates. Erik ten Hag has got probably quite a difficult team talk on his hands right now, hasn't he?
I think they've been difficult all season, to be perfectly honest, because he's looking round and there's players that he doesn't really fancy, but he's having to play them. There's players there who he's really hoping can do something for him to help him out in the position he's in, and he's kind of going, I don't think they can, but he's having to stick with them. And he's just in an unfavourable position at the moment in time. He couldn't, and maybe didn't get what he really wanted to start the season with, no, and which every manager of Manchester United have had since 2013. So he's no different. His biggest problem was in that first season is that he won a League Cup, got to Europe, and he got to an FA Cup final as well. He set the bar high at that given time. Not many have lived up to that.
He'll be hoping that there might be money to spend in January if the takeover of that percentage from Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in. Listen, second half is on its way. Hopefully, it's more entertaining than the first. 1-1 half-time, you're listening to Premier League Live.
It's Played In.
Racing Louisville star Savannah DeMello.
Personal goals for me would probably just getting called to the national team again. Like I said, I think there are so many talented players that were called into the World Cup squad, but also players who weren't called in. Obviously, the Olympics is in a year, and I know a lot of us are already itching to kind of get back to a major tournament because we know how good we can be.
Played In on SiriusXM FC, Monday evenings at 7 Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157.
Raising the Champions League trophy on Paramount Plus means becoming champion of champions. And the battle for Europe is wide open with new Italian threads for Captain America. Soccer superheroes striking at will.
Mbappe!
Arsenal and United back in the dance. And everyone gunning.
What a goal!
For the boys in blue.
Haaland! Unbelievable!
All streaming live on the home of the UEFA Champions League. Try it free at ParamountPlus.com/sports.
My name is Jana, and this is my California closet story. At my home, it is just my daughter and I. She couldn't reach her clothes, so I was having to do everything for her. The day after she had her closet installed, my daughter was in there picking out her own outfits. I don't know why I get choked up about this, but it was such a big day. There she was being this big little girl, and it was all because of her closet. It was amazing.
Visit CaliforniaClosets.com for a free design consultation and start your California Closet story today.
There are a lot of things that make this country great. Freedom of speech, an entrepreneurial spirit, football season, double bacon cheeseburgers, Bigfoot sightings, and you. That's right. You make this country great because you help keep it running every day, which means your diesel engine needs to keep running too. And that means your diesel needs Power Service Clear Diesel Fuel and Tank Cleaner. Because all diesels run better with a clean tank. If you're changing fuel filters more often than usual, it's time to use Clear Diesel. It removes water and disperses diesel fuel contaminants, such as bugs and slime, to clean your tank and keep fuel fresh. Use this advanced fuel tank cleaning technology as a vital part of any preventative maintenance program or for immediate cleanup of fuel tanks. Power Service Clear Diesel Fuel and Tank Cleaner for a diesel that performs great, so you perform great. Learn more at powerservice.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Heisman Trophy winner and NFL quarterback Doug Flutie. I'm excited to tell you that my podcast, the Flutie Flakes Cast, is back for the entire football season. I may have played like 21 years of professional football in 3 different leagues, but I'm still just a big kid, and I absolutely love this game. Every week, we'll talk about the topics I care about and bring on super fun guests. So please subscribe today wherever you stream your podcast or listen on the SXM app, included with most subscriptions.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Sheffield United against Manchester United from Bramall Lane. I'm Toby Gillis, your match commentator this evening. Alongside me, we have a former Manchester United player, the former defender Paul Parker. This is Premier League Live. And Paul, I have to say, has just said to me, good luck in the second half, because I think we're worried you might fall asleep, aren't we? But, I mean, if it's not entertaining watching Man United struggle and hearing Paul Parker moan about it, then I don't know what is, because he's always got something strong to say. So, give us your strong opinion for this second half. What are we going to see? And are you a bit surprised that it doesn't appear that there are any changes?
I was looking there to who he could bring on, and I'd bring on Hannibal just to add a little bit more in that midfield, more energy. Someone who's going to be able to run with the ball as well. He does like running with the ball from deep position, which would threaten this side at the moment. I'd look at Garnacho, who would get on the ball and run at them all the time with a purpose, rather than Marcus Rashford to shuffle forward, to step back, to pass sidewards. And that's where I'd go at this moment in time to add something. But he's hoping that these players here can do a job for him. And they've got to start the game a lot better than what they did the first half, Manchester United, to convince me, but more importantly, to convince their managers. But the most important thing, if you're a Sheffield United fan, you need your team to start exactly the same way as they did in the first half. Then you would have that belief, but it means then they've got the belief that they can get something from this game.
Very disappointed you didn't say that Hannibal would add more bites to Manchester United, but that felt like a missed opportunity.
No, but I didn't want to, because that's too easy to say.
I see.
Too easy to say.
Fair enough. Look, no changes anyway for either of these two sides. Wes Foderingham is the Sheffield United goalkeeper. We are back underway, by the way, with Manchester United, with Amrabat currently on the right-hand side of their defensive line, and Victor Lindelof in the middle. But Wes Foderingham is the Sheffield United goalkeeper. The back four, Jayden Bogle, Austin Trusty, Jack Robinson and Luke Thomas. Then in midfield, James McAtee is on the right-hand side. Vinicius Souza, Oliver Norwood and Gustavo Harmer. And then Cameron Archer is playing off Ollie McBurney up top. Manchester United, I mean, it's impossible to describe what formation they're playing and who's playing where, so I'll give you the 11 in just a moment. But Rashford is attacking down the left-hand side. He's managed to get past one and past the second, has he? No, just did enough, did Bogle, to stick with him. And then Bruno Fernandes managed to block the clearance. So United have Onana in goal. The defensive quartet, let's just go with what we called it at the start. Dalot in goal on the right, and Lindelof on the left, Evans and Maguire in the middle. But really they're moving around all over the place, as is Amrabat, who's alongside McTominay in midfield, Anthony Fernandes, Rashford and Højlund, who's chasing after the ball at the moment. Bounced once into the arms of Foderingham. And remember, it's Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. Scott McTominay with United's opener before he gave away the penalty, from which Ollie McBurney dispatched from the spot to make it 1 apiece. Fotheringham cleared the ball away. Did you think that might have been outside the box?
No, I just haven't seen the goalkeeper do that for ages. Not unless I go and watch my local team.
Oh, you
play.
mean drop kick?
Yeah, a drop kick, a volley forward.
Proper absolute.
It was Avett. But
Avett. That I think that will only make sense to British listeners,
right.
Unfortunately. But if you get on your favourite search engine and have a search for Avett football ad, I think you'll find it. And it'll all make sense. Throw in for Sheffield United. 2.5 minutes of this second half, very nearly up. Jayden Bogle takes it. It's volleyed away. Comes down for Johnny Evans in the midfield, and he's given it away. And suddenly Sheffield United have a bit of an overload here. Harmer, ball up to Osborne. Bernie's superb. He should have hit it first time. 3 black and white shirts converge upon him. Sheffield United still have it with McAtee, right side of the box. McAtee might open up for Norwood. Needed touching over that by Andre Onana. Corner Sheffield United.
Well, that should have been taken early, that opportunity with McBurney, but he felt a little bit guilty or embarrassed to take the shot. He wanted it too easy. He wanted the ball to settle. Just hit it early. You never know what's going to happen if you take it on early. And it needed Oliver Norwood to have a go. He got the slightest of touches, I think, of Onana. I think it was always going to go over.
I think you're right, yeah.
But he wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, safety first, right decision. There's the delivery into the box. It's gone all the way across the face of the goal. And behind for another corner. Must have come off of a Manchester United head, that. Who is it?
Oh,
it's Lindelof. So, 2 corners in quick succession for Sheffield United. This time this is on the near side. Norwood's delivery. Referee says something's happened in the box. I think it's Johnny Evans has ended up on the ground. Harry Maguire's going over to have a chat. With the players currently wearing black armbands. And Evans and Trusty are being spoken to by the referee. Here comes Norwood's delivery from the corner over absolutely everybody. Maguire's just going to let that one run out for a throw. And that just about sums it up so far. 4 and a bit minutes gone in this second half. At TalkSport Live. If you're eating, send us some pictures of food. Make us drool. Paul Parker's looking at me like I'm mad.
No, but what you should have done was just wrote something on a bit of paper and asked me if I'll be happy with that. The answer is no.
Oh, you're not happy? Because you're hungry?
Because I'm absolutely starving.
Dear.
Or I could throw out Hank Marvin.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. We've already had one picture coming from Steve Waterhouse driving in Denver. Come on, you blades. R.I.P. Sir Bobby and Franny Lee. Yeah, he died at the start of the month. A Manchester City supporter, Steve, and Jodie in Denver. Nice to have you along at TalkSport Live if you want to join in. Don't send pictures of food. Dogs, is that allowed? You like a dog? Pets? Show us where you're out walking in nature.
I do like the dogs that actually are like dogs, and not dogs that you can actually keep in the cage.
Right.
In other words, I don't want a dog that could be actually impersonating a gerbil or a hamster.
You're saying you like proper dogs?
Yeah, the ones that people carry in handbags. I'm not interested in that, by the way. I want the kind of dogs that you maybe throw their bottom half in a rucksack and you carry them around with you. You have it on your shoulder like some people do a parrot.
Believe it or not, there is a football match ongoing, and Ollie McBurney is being taken off for Ryan Brewster.
Wow,
who's making his way back from an injury.
That must be an injury.
It has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's shaking his head now. Yeah, which is a big loss for them, by the way, because Ryan Brewster just had a terrible time, isn't he, since he left Liverpool?
I mean, everyone was convinced, weren't they, that he was going to be a superstar, and it's just been. I mean, it's been terrible, hasn't it? He's got 4 goals in 59 league appearances since the start of 2020-2021, and he signed from Liverpool in the October of that season. £23.5 million, still a club record signing for Sheffield United, and he signed as the forward that was going to keep them in the league.
Sometimes you can make that move a little bit too early.
Yeah.
And a few have done that at Liverpool, to be honest. The young players have left that bit early.
There was a lot, wasn't there, of thought in a way that, from solely from his point of view, perhaps the relegation at that point was going to be good for him, but maybe not. There goes Brewster. Oh, I don't know. Has made a bit of a mess of it. Who's it going to come out to? It was a misread jump by. Can't think. Was it McAtee who was chasing in? Wouldn't come for them. And now Man United at the other end. Rashford goes through. Fotheringham had a good high starting position and could clear away. Dalot didn't want that one as much as Hammer. Came out to Brewster, to Archer, I should say, and well, he's not been able to bring it under control, and Manchester United are lucky that they have survived that.
Certainly haven't again. Onana shot, and he just makes everything look so awkward, doesn't he? There's nothing ever clean cut at all. Straight away, you look at that shot and you think to yourself, oh, it must have moved in the air. But am I making excuses for him? But I keep saying, I don't see anything clean cut. Even when he pushes it away, it's kind of, oh, I don't know. He doesn't know where that ball's going. And again, it goes into such a dangerous area.
He looks nervous, doesn't he? And I mean, he's freely admitted that it hasn't started for him in the way that he'd hoped. And that can't be anything other than playing on your confidence. Here come Man United. Amrabat, that's a nice ball, is it? Yes, it'll be kept in by Anthony. Getting in between two defenders, comes back to Dalot. Dalot's cross towards Fernandes. He's going to come up, is it, off of Bogle? Yes, out as far as Rashford. Rashford to Lindelof. Bruno Fernandes 25 yards from goal into McTominay. Left foot goes well wide. Took a deflection, actually. Corner Manchester United.
Again, they're just bouncing back off of what Sheffield United have done. Manchester United, I should say. That certainly did move from left to right, didn't it? That shot from Brewster.
Effort, yeah, it did. And it was McAtee who went in there, and Maguire was just behind him. Manchester United play the corner short, and then it's bent in by Amrabat, and he apologises to everyone because it's gone behind him. Maguire's saying, well, hang on, I'm a big old lump that's come forward. Why did that not come into me? And I think the fact that we're getting replays on our monitors repeatedly of this McAtee-Maguire effort is because there's some suggestion that maybe Maguire nudged him out the way and it could be a penalty. I think that's only a TV director that's suggesting that.
Do you know what? I'm looking at it, and his arm you didn't see his arm move out at all.
No, he did come through the back of McAtee, but
but his arms are down, and there's no, you can't even consider that.
Let's not let this terrible Manchester United performance distract us from the fact that the city of Sheffield hasn't seen one win this year in almost 20 games. It says Millwall on tour. It also adds, and this will stop you being hungry, Paul Parker legend. There you go.
Right, I'm ready to be fed now.
Ball forward by Manchester United. Doesn't reach Rasmus Højlund. Oh, Fotheringham might have given it to Rashford. Surely an empty net, is it? Højlund, oh, he's wasted it. Why didn't Rashford hit it first time? He had a whole empty net to go for. Fotheringham gifted it to him, and instead he squared it for Højlund, by which time Fotheringham had the time to get back. He just had to pelt it.
He did, I don't know. He's moaning at Højlund for the ball back, Rashford. If Rashford should be embarrassed, he never took that ball on. Absolutely terrible play. And then to have the audacity to say to Højlund, give it back to me, he was standing on the 6-yard box. Absolutely terrible that was from Rashford. Terrible.
I mean, that
pass in the buck.
Yeah.
Pass in the buck big time.
That's exactly what it feels like. Why didn't he just shoot?
We saw that earlier today. We just saw that earlier. Declan Rice just done bang. Yes, this one was more easy than Declan Rice, and he never took it on. Shoot in the far corner.
Yeah, I have to say that's what it felt like to me. Just hit it, just bang. And I'll tell you what, he'd have done that last season, wouldn't he? 30 goals last season. I think he had that confidence at the second half of last season that he'd have hit that.
I don't know.
That's a man with one Premier League goal this season.
I don't know if it's about confidence in that sense. I'm thinking of a different word for that there, really. But he just didn't take
cowardice?
it on. Well, he wasn't brave enough to take it on, and he gave it to Højlund. Højlund wanted to take it on, and then he's moaning because he never gave it back to him. Højlund makes that pass to him, and he doesn't get there. Straight away, everyone's going, Højlund, you had to shoot.
Yeah. Amrabat up to Anthony. That's nice from Amrabat to find Anthony, who's made space onto his left foot. Cross shot, really, that was, I think.
I don't know what that was.
It's Jack Robinson who heads it away from the edge of his 6-yard box over on the far side. Throw in to Manchester United. Anthony comes back to Maguire. Still all of this in Sheffield United's half. That was loose for Fernandes for a moment, but it does reach Anthony. Anthony off of Archer. We get a glimpse on our monitor of Eric Ten Hag sat alongside Steve McClaren, who had tears in his eyes during the minute's applause for Sir Bobby Charlton. Of course, he's been so heavily involved in both great moments and perhaps some of the lesser moments in more recent times for Manchester United, with Eric Ten Hag's difficulties at times, although of course he did win the trophy last season, but part of that treble winning group under Sir Alex Ferguson, Steve McClaren as well, so he's known Sir Bobby for a long time. Anthony, second touch had to be a tackle, it didn't work for him. Sheffield United get it away. Maguire goes in, heads it against his own man Amrabat, and it's a throw-in for Sheffield United just shy of the halfway line. Anthony closing them down, and he's won it, and he's got Højlund with him. Goes infield instead to Bruno Fernandes. Here's Rashford! He's put it wide, left foot, dragged wide. You'd have backed him to score surely there, but he's missed a golden opportunity for Manchester United, gifted to them.
Yeah, he just needed to be on his right foot rather than his left foot. It isn't his strongest, and he's hooked it rather than strike through the ball. If he should have struck through the ball and he hits it on the inside of his foot, he's got to come off the laces there to go into that side netting on that far side, and he just kind of scooped it off the inside. No great belief when he actually struck that ball with his weaker foot.
Yeah, he spoke after the England game about how he felt he was ready to kick on now after he'd scored against Italy, which is interesting because both you and I thought that he possibly made the wrong decision to shoot when he scored that goal, which is a mad thing to say in some ways, because if you score, you wonder how it can be wrong. But he got opened up for him by a brilliant Bellingham run, didn't it, against Italy? But even then, he had a man over. I think it was Harry Kane, if I remember rightly, who he possibly could have teed up for what felt like a more certain goal, if there can be such a thing.
I mean, as well though, the goal did mask over quite. I'm going to say maybe sound better, a very average performance for Marcus Rashford against Italy.
It did feel like there was a lot of blind alleys he ran into, which I think you do see a bit from him, don't you? I just wonder whether he feels he needs to take more responsibility than he does sometimes, and that actually he thinks he's being a team player by doing that, but would he be better off, using his teammates a bit more? I don't know.
I just think he'll be better on his right side, because he can go. He's got great pace. He can get round the outside towards the byline. If he was,
oh, you mean an orthodox winger?
Just go play on. He's playing on the left side, trying to do go and play on the right side.
Interesting.
And just go and do that. You're on your strongest side, and what you can do, which is the most dangerous balls in football, doesn't matter what era you're in, come from when someone gets to the byline or in behind the defence and puts it across the box. But always this of cutting inside just isn't.
Flag is up against Lindelof. An hour gone, still 1-1.
Go inside isn't consistent form of way of attacking. We've seen it of Anthony. Sometimes you dribble. When they come off, it looks great. 9 times out of 10, it gets broken down, because before you used to defend, force them inside onto a centre half, and then you force them across the pitch. That's me.
Hamilton Holmes has been in touch. I'm afraid we've got the first food pick come in. Enjoying some Mexican, watching the match here in Arkansas with fantastic Chipotle nachos.
I think I'm going to have to order my own, and I really, for a picture.
There's a nice beer in there as well.
Well, see, the beer has won it, but I'm not. That plate isn't really entertaining me, to be perfectly honest.
You're not happy? Okay. Here comes Højlund, tackled by Trusty. Got a bit lucky at Trusty there, that his teammate ended up on the ball, and Sheffield United have it again, and they're looking for the ball in behind there. It's Archer. Good battle that in pace between him and Dalot, and he's just bounced Dalot, who's double his size, off the ball. Archer, left side of the 18-yard box. How has he emerged with that ball there?
I don't know how he got to it in the first place. Dalot never really attacked the ball.
Coming forward, he's hit his own teammate. And then Anthony is brought down there by Vinicius Souza. He's going to get a yellow card. Or should do.
No, he's not, I don't think.
Is he get away with that one?
Yeah, I think, because he knows he didn't get touched. He didn't get touched. He's jumped over him.
Yellow card.
And then it's the bit at the end, though.
I think he didn't get touched. Yeah, he caught his ankle.
He top with his foot, if anything, but he's gone down and wasn't a great deal on it. And I think he knew that, the referee, as well. That's why he wanted to speak to him.
With the yellow, though, I mean, Man United were away, weren't they, at that point? That might have come into his thinking, I guess. Stop the attack. Still, Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 1. That's a good ball over the top by Maguire towards Bruno Fernandes. Tried to go first time, he's going to come back for him. Are they getting another chance? McTominay comes onto it, just misses it, gets taken away from him. And maybe he's caught Robinson, did he? Or did Bruno catch him?
He got caught. Someone's come in and caught Robin. The thing about it, the referee doesn't see the incident. The referee's watching the ball. So I wonder, how does he know that's a foul? Because he looks back, he sees Robinson. Why does he say it's a foul? Robinson could have just played the game. So he must have something in his ear telling him what's happened, but what he doesn't see.
Now, you might be able to hear boos at the moment, and that is because Anthony Martial is coming on for Rasmus Højlund. And it's not the first time that particular substitute has been booed this season. Scott McTominay is coming off as well for Christian Eriksen for Manchester United. So they're making a triple change here, because Alejandro Garnacho is also coming on. And I would be very surprised if that's not for Anthony. And that's exactly who it's for.
Oh, he's got the limp on.
I mean, it can only be that Ten Hag knows that he is being judged for the signing of Anthony, that he starts games ahead of Garnacho, can't it? Because he spent so much on him. He wanted him, they waited so long, it was 90 million in the end. And he's got to keep playing him because he's got to get that one right, hasn't he? But Garnacho's a far better player.
Yeah, he adds a little bit more. And the thing, though, Garnacho is that he's better on the left. So, yes, Marcus Rashford has gone to the right.
And there was an offside off of the goal kick, or the free kick, which will disappoint the home faithful.
This thing as well with Marcus Rashford, he's turned around and come out and said, I don't want to be a centre-forward, I can't play there. I don't think he's really had I think that's a position which I believe he could have grabbed hold of. If
you think he could have been
if he really wanted
striker?
it? If he wanted to come and keep up, come and get the ball, actually made the movement off the ball. I just don't think he wants to make those kind of movements because he's more of a what's the word? Everything's about instinctive with him. He's a reactor rather than a proactor. And being a centre forward, you've got to be proactive. And he doesn't do that at all, even on the left side. And that's why he doesn't enjoy that, because you've got to go in short to maybe go long and then go again. If you don't get the ball, make a new position, new angle, then go again. He doesn't want to do that hard work on a regular basis, in my opinion.
Maguire comes back to Amrabat.
And you see Højlund does it hell of a lot.
Yes, you do. Evans. Amrabat in the centre circle. In fairness to Man United, it's been basically all them in this second half. I know they haven't done much with it, I agree, but what I would say is that they're in control without necessarily looking like they're going to score the goal that wins it. I mean, there again, Evans gives the ball away, doesn't reach Garnacho, and here comes Sheffield United again, although of course you saw that McBurney miss early in the second half, didn't you? Nice running by McAtee here. He's gone an awful long way, and the square ball up towards Harmer, who goes for goal from distance and puts it over the crossbar.
And that was better. Then maybe that's their best bit of play from the opportunity which keep up. And Arna's made that save from Brewster. They haven't really been seen since then as an attacking force. And it goes to Harmer. If he was wearing the Coventry City shirt, it would work the goalkeeper at least.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's been a bright spot for Sheffield United though, as a signing this summer. Scored on his debut, of course. Actually the last player to score for them in open play, as Dalot has it high up on the right. Challenged there over on the far side by Harmer, who's got back brilliantly to challenge him, and it's a corner to Manchester United.
See what he's done well there as well. He's just had the shot as well, and he's ended up on his own byline after.
Manchester United unbeaten in 10 against Sheffield United. Winning 9 of them as well. Sheffield United have dealt with that corner, but it comes out as far as Ericsson. His crossfield ball towards Rashford, who's gone down holding his head. Amrabat shoots! Oh, he's hit the angle of crossbar and post. So close to a worldie. Back in it goes, left foot shot from Amrabat. And it's just wide. I think it was Bruno Fernandes that had the second one. And Manchester United fans, I think, are claiming a handball as well. Well, let's see this again. There's a lot to unpack here. The header away came to Ericsson. Ericsson's ball in. Rashford went for it. No handball, definitely. Then it was laid to Amrabat. The goal is still shaking. Came back out to Bruno Fernandes. His left foot shot, bending. Looked for all the world like it was going to go in. And Fotheringham will be delighted to see that it went just wide. But that Amrabat effort, wow.
It's the angle, doesn't it, of the goal?
And how far away was Bruno? Not far at all with his left foot bending effort. But things like that aren't going for Man United at the moment. You've got to make your own luck, though. And there's Amrabat with the challenge. Comes off of Norwood last, according to the assistant, on this near side throw in Manchester United inside their own half.
You see already that Sheffield United have lost that little bit of impetus since McBurney's come off. The ball's not sticking up front. We've seen Cameron Archer disappear from the game. He was a constant threat in the first half. We're not seeing him, those lung-busting runs anymore.
Sheffield United looking to find their first Premier League win since May of 2021. As things stand, they're earning their second point of the season. At TalkSport Live if you want to join in the food convo, or send pictures of your pets or where you're out walking and you can tell what sort of game we're having. Man United have wasted a free kick by taking it quickly. Nobody else noticed, and it's an easy one for Sheffield United to get away. Only as far as Dalot, though. He's had to work awkwardly to keep it in. He's done so there quite nicely, in fairness. Thomas defending that one away. Martial was chasing it, but it's cleared as far as Ericsson. Here's Bruno now. Garnacho twisting, turning. Too many twists and too many turns for his own good. Manchester United win it back though through Ericsson. Bruno Fernandes, 25 yards from goal, trying to own a shooting opportunity. Dalot, Ericsson rolls it into Martial, tries to lay it off. I am telling you that he's just passed to a Sheffield United player because the kits are too similar. He looked up and passed that ball. There is no doubt in my mind that just happened.
I think you're just using this for your theory. Yeah. You're just using this for this theory, this conspiracy theory.
You, did you not see? He looked up and passed it. Either that or something dodgy's happening, and that is not what I'm suggesting, I should point out.
It's either that or it was a seriously bad pass.
Well, I don't think it was. It looked very deliberate to me. And these kits are too similar. They really are. It's terrible. Lindelof will pick up in midfield, although he's spilled it. He's given it to McAtee, and now his Archer did really well to play at one side of the defender and run the other, but Amrabat got back.
That man's energy levels.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
Absolutely,
especially when you consider he wasn't fit.
Yeah,
you know, we're only at what is it, fourth appearance I think for Amrabat now.
Absolutely incredible.
Still building his fitness.
I mean, when they signed him, I loved what I saw of him in the World Cup. And when he got mentioned with United and when they signed him, I thought great. But then it worried me about we've seen so many people in the World Cup.
Yeah, you get signed for a World Cup. Yeah. Look at James Rodriguez. He's built a whole career off it.
But I just look at him and he's everything that was just written on the can. He was absolutely incredible, his energy levels.
Martial running a channel, beating Robinson to it. Goes down with Robinson at his back and he can't get to his feet quick enough. And it's a goal kick, I'm afraid. 19 on the clock. 19 minutes left, that is, rather than 19 gone.
I just wonder where the gloves are. How cold is it in Sheffield at the moment for those gloves? Martial.
Nothing to say.
Hey?
I've got nothing to say. Maybe he thinks he's going in goal.
Maybe, yeah. I just find that strange, really, and how managers allow players to do that. We wore gloves in training with Sir Alex, and he went absolutely mad when he saw them. He went
Really?
mad, yeah.
Even in the snow?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, once you start training and you get warm, you don't need the gloves anymore. And what happens is players generally normally throw them off.
There was a bit of fortune initially there for Lindelof, but eventually it sort of bobbled into the 18-yard box, and West Fotheringham wearing the number 18.
And then we had him in training. What we did when we did after a while, we threw him off. And then after the first session, we turned around and told the kit manager then, Norman Davis, do not pick up those gloves, let them pick them up. Don't you dare do it. Not many wore gloves anymore.
Amrabat loses out to Ryan Brewster there, and he's been penalised. 18 minutes left for play. Are they going to see a second point of the season in the 32 and a bit thousand capacity Bramall Lane today against the mighty Manchester United? How long are we going to call them mighty for when they've gone now? I mean, this will be season 11 without the title. I don't think they're going to win the league this year somehow.
Well, it might just need you to stop doing it and everyone else will. The onus is on you.
Do you think that the situation with the ownership might, is there more to it than just chucking more money at it? Do they need a whole reset in structure, and actually does that involve the Glazers leaving rather than just selling a quarter of the stake?
Yeah, we've got to remember is that the players, a lot of the players they've signed, if United say Sir Alex, after Sir Alex gone, have signed 100 players, I'm going to turn around and say a lot more than 50% were players that were never first choice. So virtually, the way the structure went, of everything, the money, the way they do it, they've never really been allowed a good summer to go out and buy their players early. That's the bit that has always been the problem. So they've been working with players who were second and third choice, and that's the bit that needs that little bit of changing. Obviously, you can talk about the ground and the training ground, but I look at it, and that shouldn't come into it. A football pitch is a football pitch, but then you still need to look after the fans in the sense of when they're getting wet.
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah. I saw an amazing statistic in preparing for this, that since Sir Alex Ferguson left, only 2 players have been sold by Manchester United for a profit.
That's terrible.
2. And off the top of my head, I know that Javier Hernandez was one of them. I've got a feeling the other was Dan James, I think. Not one that I wrote down, I have to confess that particular statistic, because I didn't think we'd go there, but next time I'll make sure I've got it.
I think we have to say as well is that a lot of the players that they've got now are all on too much money. You can't even get them out on loan. A lot of them,
they pay a lot and pay a lot, as it were.
So clubs can't. They turn around and give you a certain percentage. They go, that's enough. They can't give it because they're earning more money than what they're really worth.
Martial trying to back into Trusty, wouldn't sit for him. Sheffield United get it away. Maguire too strong there for Cameron Archer. On the right hand side finds Bruno Fernandes, crosses, just hit Luke Thomas, bounced up into the sky. Fernandes brought it down. In fact, he didn't bring it down. It bounced off the bottom of his foot, and it's a throw in for Sheffield United. And we've got 15 minutes of this left for play, plus stoppage time. Don't think at this, as things stand, that there'll be an awful lot of stoppage time. We've had 1 stoppage each for subs so far. Can't remember any sort of real injury trouble.
I think there's a lot of people out there who just want it to stop, because it has been a painful second half.
Is it fair to say that we call a spade a spade? Aren't we supposed to be selling this as, you know, the great Premier League?
Do you know what? I'm just one of them. I just believe you have to say as it is. If you make it up, people say, "Are you wearing rose-tinted glasses?" It hasn't been glamorous. It hasn't been entertaining. The only good bit that comes out of it, if you're a Sheffield United fan, that you're still in the game, opportunity to earn a second point of the season.
Yeah. I have to say, what I would also say to that is that personally, although hang on, Manchester United are here on the left-hand side, high up with Lindelof. It was Amrabat that found him. Garnacho now running at 2 red and white shirts, just ushered away. He's trying to find a little gap. Gives it to Lindelof. Lindelof finds Dalot. Dalot, bending shot! Oh, wow! The game does not deserve a goal of that quality. Diogo Dalot, 25 yards, right foot. Fotheringham got hands to it, but nowhere near strong enough to keep it out. Manchester United restore their lead with a stunner. Who said this couldn't be entertaining, Paul Parker? Sheffield United 1, Manchester United 2.
Well, I must say, that's come out of nothing. It's come from nowhere. Dalot has made that up as he's gone along. There wasn't any script at all given with that goal. He gets hold of it. He takes charge of it. He, in a way, is demanding to give him the ball. And he gets it, and he's made his mind up out of his feet, and he's got his foot around it, and he's looked to aim to put it in that top left-hand angle of the goalkeeper's side, and he's hit it perfectly. If there's a car tyre hanging in that corner, it goes right through the gap.
It does.
Absolute perfection by Dalot. The bright spot of Manchester United's performance, and the bright spot for Diogo Dalot as well.
Oh, just a second ever Premier League goal for Diogo Dalot. Just a fourth in Manchester United colours. Prior to tonight, all three of his goals for Manchester United have come in different competitions. That one is just his second of the year. And my word, what a goal it was. And Sheffield United have responded by making a change. And that was some goal by Diogo Dalot. And the Sheffield United change has seen Ben Osborne coming on for James McAtee.
McBurney's been a big miss because
he really
McAtee's gone out the game. Cameron Archer's gone out the game because all that he was doing in holding up play, and he was other players. He affected the two centre halves of Manchester United.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to do that since Brewster came on, other than the shot as they waste possession there, given away by Bogle. Tried to just square it to Brewster. Didn't come for him. Well, I mean, look, what can you say? Manchester United have been patient, and you can only beat what's in front of you, and as things stand, they're doing it. I mean, look, in the end, that is, you're giving me a smile, but it's...
All you're doing, like, at the moment in time, you're there on the riverbank and you're throwing out baits. That is all you're doing. This ground bait is going out. That is all you're doing. And you just throw them in the hooks.
I am not a baiter. I'm not having that. I'm saying what else can you say? Alex Ferguson used to say you can only beat what's put in front of you, didn't he?
Everyone said that, to be honest. When things weren't going great, that's what you always say to cover that other side. That's all it is. It's a little bit of a cover.
Okay, well, then what about the next bit of bait, if that's what it is? What about the best teams win games when they're not playing well? What about that?
God, you're hitting the mark. Can you, let me just throw this one here, right? Can you get a third? Can you get a third one? Go on, throw another one in now.
Yeah, are we playing cliche footy right now? Cliche bingo. As things stand, Harry Maguire looks like he's going to leave his former club with all 3 points. And you've got to say, do you want another one? That is a goal befitting winning any game. You agreeing with that one?
I'm agreeing with that.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Well,
See, I'm not looking at it as if to say you're trying to throw him in. And there was a picture. There's a picture.
That's exactly what you're looking at me like. People are now joining in the fun on social media as well. So get on X or Twitter now at TalkSport Live. The Blades are playing well and inspired my Blades on this pup, because he sent a picture of his dog, and is that? Not quite sure what that means. Another day, another dog. Oh, dog barber. It's a dog barber. Great show today. R.I.P. Sir Bobby. Deep respect from a Liverpool supporter. Dalot, Martial, Eriksson, Amrabat. I'm assuming that Dalot wins your man of the match as things stand.
He has to, just for the goal.
Yeah.
If I was him, just to stop anything happening, I would ask to come off just in case he gives a penalty away like
McTominay did. Yeah. And I guess that's the concern for Sheffield United, that we've talked in, relative glowing terms about them today. And you would say that in spite of that, they haven't managed to score against Man United without a penalty that really from their point of view, they didn't earn. You know, it was a moment of silliness rather than anything else from McTominay, and that's got to be a worry for them, hasn't it?
I think so. I mean, but the only thing they can get from this, if it stays, is that they showed a little bit. They've showed something, that there is a little bit of spirit there. Biggest problem they got is about scoring goals.
Johnny Evans with the foul over on the far side.
Did he mean that, Johnny Evans?
Archer.
Did Archer run into him? I think he might have injured himself there as well.
Let's see this now. No, it was a bit. He was outfoxed by a bit of trickery, wasn't he, or the touch away.
I'll tell you what, he might. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's had a little clash of the knee, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just when he got hit. Yeah.
And that's a concern for Manchester United amongst all of their other injury troubles. I think we're going to see Benny Traore as well for Sheffield United. Possibly Harmer likely to make way for him. Can they find something to turn this game back against Sheffield United? Evans is looking over to the bench. And I'm not quite sure whether he's saying, yeah, take me off or not.
I think so, yeah, maybe.
Walks over to the far side with the physio to be...
Yeah, is that just come on? Was that Varane?
Yeah, absolutely, it is Varane, who's fit again after injury. And they'd have probably liked, I mean, I always think if he was fully fit, Rafael Varane starts this game, so they'd have presumably liked not to have had to use him today, but he's only going to get sort of 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time. And Harmer is the man coming off for Benny Traore. So that's a straight swap effectively. He'll go onto the left wing, I would have thought. As the ball comes in from the free kick. Takes a little deflection, comes out to the near side where Vinny Souza picks up. To Osborne, that's a good ball in, you know that. Lindelof heads it away. Manchester United back to the wall. What a touch that was initially! And then it just got taken away from... Might have been Bogle in the box, you know. And it's a Sheffield United corner. And this game isn't over. When it's only one, you can never be sure. Norwood runs over to take this corner. Out-swinging delivery from the near side. Manchester United do get it away. What a touch that is by Garnacho, and he'll lead the Manchester United charge away. And it's 3-on-3 here. Garnacho, he's taken too much time surely now, but still he goes. Garnacho tries to find Bruno Fernandes. Pass was always a difficult one, and he didn't make it. And Sheffield United get away. And now Benny Traore chases down the near side with Lindelof with him. Holding, surely that's a foul. Yes, it is. Had to be. Moving into the final 5 minutes of this game.
I just wanted Garnacho, when he had that ball there, to go with his head rather than his heart. He saw that opportunity to go counter-attack, and then he should have thought, maybe just slow it up and keep possession. There was no need to go and do that, and he ends up getting in a panic and gives the ball away.
That's just inexperience, right?
Yeah. But he needed someone just to stand still and say, give me the ball.
Yeah.
That's what he needed, to stand still.
Sheffield United play the ball into the Manchester United box. They're going to deal with that one again, and Garnacho comes away with it. Oh, and the tackle has helped him get away, you know. The challenge on him allows Garnacho up to the edge of the area. Alejandro Garnacho onto his left foot, shoots, blocked, corner. Brilliant covering by Robinson. He's done that on a couple of occasions in this game, and it was brilliantly set away by Bruno Fernandes. Didn't look like he was going to have the pace to get away initially, and there was absolute fury on the challenger. Was it Osborne, I think, who made the tackle? When he realised that the tackle had actually helped Manchester United rather than hindered them.
Oh, it definitely did.
Mason Mount is going to be Manchester United's final change. Rashford available short. Bruno Fernandes goes into the box instead. Absolutely nobody in the 6-yard box, and yet that's where he delivered it. Comes out to Dalot. Cries of shoot. Not surprising then there. And instead he came to Rashford. Bruno Fernandes. Here comes Garnacho. Might open up for a shot. Oh, it's just wide of Fotheringham's right-hand post. You know exactly what happened there. Fotheringham was expecting it to go to his left. It ended up going to his right, and he was just stood watching it, terrified that was going in. And it just wouldn't go the right side of the post as far as Manchester United were concerned. Still 2-1, moving into the final 3 minutes ahead of stoppage time. And Marcus Rashford's night is over. Mason Mount coming on for him.
Yeah, I mean, that was so close from Garnacho. That's what he can do. His first thought in his head, can he shoot? He does see things that are going on around him. And the goalkeeper was just stood there, wasn't he? He was on the verge of being embarrassed, wasn't he?
Yeah, totally wrong-footed.
Because he thought he read it as well.
Yeah.
And he just stood there praying.
2-1 to Manchester United here on Premier League Live. There's a ball in behind on this near side, which doesn't fall for anybody from Vinicius Souza. Manchester United get a bit of fortune in the defending of it. Eriksen plays it down the left, looking for a run of Garnacho. And it will be allowed to run out by Bogle. Here's a challenge there by Archer that doesn't come off. Martial's done absolutely nothing since coming on the field, by the way. Except now he's suggesting he might be injured. Surprise, surprise, footballer made of glass is hurt. Here comes Ryan Brewster, passes poor. Garnacho went in. Was that safe? Safe enough, because he got there well ahead of his man. He stayed down as Vinicius Souza. Norwood, Thomas. Sheffield United having a decent go at getting back into this at the end. Ball across goal by Archer. Couldn't find anybody other than Lindelof. And it's away by Eriksen. Martial waited for that for too long. It's got a bit of fortune to try and get away from Trusty. Martial trying to get away. Trusty was quick. What happened to that blistering pace that Martial had when he started? It looked like, I mean, Austin Trusty's not a slouch, but he's not the quickest, and he caught up with him easily there.
I think it's the weight of the gloves.
Excellent. Bogle. Osborne. Bogle. Osborne. Norwood delivers a ball into the Manchester United box, headed up rather than away by Varane. Bruno Fernandes took a bit of a risk trying to take that down on his knee, and then the Sheffield United player that took it off of him over on that far side, Luke Thomas, fell over as he tried to deliver the ball into the box.
Oh, he had an air shot, didn't he there, Luke Thomas? I don't know what he was trying to cross or a shot there, but he put everything into it and got nothing.
Away comes Sheffield United with it again. It's Brewster over on the far side. And if they manage to pick the pocket there of Osborne, they have with Mason Mount, and Manchester United will come again. Another goal would just guarantee the points here. Bruno Fernandes come inside his man, tries to slip in Mason Mount on the right-hand side. Touch was heavy. I don't think he was expecting the pass, in fairness. And Vinicius Souza gets it away. And Amrabat tries to challenge on Ryan Brewster, but it comes away. And the Sheffield United fans are liking the fact that there's 5 minutes of stoppage time. It's not as much as we have seen at times this season. I'd have thought Man United fans might be quite pleased at that as well. As Erik ten Hag screams like a wild wolf into the ether, hoping that his message gets across to his team. Can they see this one out? Can they earn back-to-back wins in the Premier League for the first time this season? Manchester United have it. It's Martial. Garnacho! Oh, it's miles wide. And the offside flag goes up. And he's very, very lucky it does. Because he won possession there. It came to Martial, who also won it, strong in the tackle. And Garnacho was offside. Just about, I think.
Yeah, he's normally better than that. When he gets in that situation, he does generally always hit the target, coming in off that left-hand side.
Blush is spared because it was a poor miss. Header away by Maguire, won't find Eriksen. It's volleyed over to the far side by Norwood. Comes to Ryan Brewster. It's got an overlap on the left. Oh, could have gone anywhere. It's gone behind for a goal kick from Luke Thomas. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time left for play. Man United going 8th and within 5 points of the top 4, although Tottenham, of course, play on Monday night against Fulham. There's also another game for you tomorrow, Aston Villa against West Ham. Kev Hatchard will be in alongside David Connolly. But after Liverpool's Merseyside derby win earlier on today, 4th will be on 20 points at the end of tomorrow, no matter what. And so Manchester United will, assuming they hold on to this victory, be 5 points off the top 4. Martial underneath the clearance by Onana. It's going to come off of... Oh, well, I thought that was a Manchester United delivery. And here's Eriksen leaving the throw for Lindelof.
That is a green, isn't it? It's a deep green, that isn't it? It's like British racing green, that is.
The kit?
Your kit, yeah.
I mean, you're asking a colourblind man. Looks black and white to me. Here's Amrabat. Round the corner by Eriksen. Martial. Eriksen. Garnacho. Garnacho is fouled there by Bogle. Free kick for Manchester United. Under normal circumstances, you'd think that that was going straight into the box, but has Bogle avoided a yellow card there?
Seems like it. Who's that? Oh, it's a fan, isn't it? It's a fan.
I think you're right. There is
Honestly,
a fan who's come on. He looks taking their time to get. I wonder if it's because he looks a bit like Erik Ten Hag.
I thought it was Ten Hag had gone and got changed. He's taking his jacket off and it was him. I thought, so wait a minute, he ain't wearing it.
Goodness me, that was...
Ten Hag ain't wearing a gilet.
A bit dangerous, that.
It was a little bit.
Came right up to the 3 players, and in the end he was just a prankster, but it could have been a lot worse. They didn't half take their time to get to him. Harry Maguire's come forward as if this ball's going in the box. Clearly not.
He's not thinking.
Martial, offside. Absolute idiocy.
What is Harry Maguire coming up for? 2 minutes to go.
Bizarre.
Yeah, strange.
Bizarre. A message to our broadcast partners: we'll be extending this broadcast by at least 5 minutes due to the added on time. There's not much left, only a few more seconds. That one might run through for Manchester United, but no, Martial's ball has been penalised. And here we go, this is it for Sheffield United now. We're up to the final 30 seconds. Pump it forward all you can, away by Maguire. Got up well, got up legally over Vinny Souza. Garnacho has it. Garnacho goes high, high, high out to the right-hand side for Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes into Martial, held up brilliantly. And Sheffield United get it away. I suspect it's too late for another attack for them. Yeah, Man United will just hold on to it. Eriksen, Maguire. Eriksen taking his time with a little bit of space. Amrabat, and I think Manchester United have done enough tonight. And it really, really, really has been barely, as they come back to their goalkeeper Onana, and we're now beyond the 5 minutes. There he goes long. Referee waits and looks, and Sheffield United still go, and this is it now. They'll bomb it forward. It's too little too late. Manchester United win back-to-back games in the Premier League for the first time this season. And on the day that one of their greatest ever, Sir Bobby Charlton, passes, they have at least done him proud with the result, if not with the performance. The goal that won it was sensational. The rest of the performance was somehow lacking. It was not great, but Manchester United have won. They've won by 2-1, and this is how it sounded. Lindelof in towards Fernandes. Tries to loop that one up to McTominay. Bobble towards goal. And his rich goal-scoring form can...
This is the SiriusXM Sports Update.
Ninth-ranked Oregon's in a tight battle in Eugene against Washington State.
3 tight ends, one of them a fullback.
Give it to Bucky, goes behind everybody and goes through for the touchdown. Bucky Irving with 3 tight ends. You had some meat in there just pushing.
Oregon Ducks radio on Sirius XM, and the extra point was good, which tied up the game. That is where they stand. 10-10 now late in the second quarter. 11th-ranked Alabama fell behind Tennessee 13-0 early, but the Crimson Tide trying to fight back.
Here's the snap. Milroe looks, fires, end zone, touchdown, Jermaine Burton. That was a bullet, a 10-yard bullet, and my goodness, did Alabama ever need that?
Alabama Crimson Tide radio on Sirius XM. That made it 13-7 Tennessee, which is where they stand as well. Alabama just got picked off trying to drive for another touchdown. The interception coming in the end zone. So it's Tennessee ball late in the second quarter. Again, 13-7 Volunteers. Missouri all over South Carolina, 24-0 in the second. Tulane dominating North Texas, 21-0 second quarter. 8th-ranked Texas all over Houston, 21-zip. That one also in the second. Quinn Ewers with a couple of touchdown passes for the Longhorns. And Iowa leads Minnesota with under a minute remaining in the second quarter, 10-3. Earlier, Ohio State defeated Penn State in the Horseshoe, 20-12. Oklahoma survived the scare, beat Central Florida 31-29. NHL, it's the Coyotes 1, Ducks nothing at the end of one. The play-by-play on NHL Network Radio Channel 91. The Red Wings took down the Senators 5-2. Coming up tonight, 8:07 Eastern, it's Game 5 of the NLCS, Phillies and Diamondbacks from Chase Field. Pre-game coverage on MLB Network Radio Channel 89. I'm Rob Brender.
If it's happening in sports, it's happening on Sirius XM.
Hello, boys and girls. We're going to have some fun today.
Sirius XM FC presents the United States of Soccer.
It's groundbreaking territory. You should be part of it.
Your destination for MLS.
We're to fight for the future of soccer in America.
And the national team.
Be proud to be an American soccer fan.
American Soccer Talk.
That sounds great. You ask me.
From the fans' point of view.
Our relationship to our clubs is held hostage by rich people with checkbooks.
This is the United States of Soccer.
I tend to lean towards the sexy. That's just who I am.
On Sirius XM FC.